Hello and welcome to Enor's webinar series on web analytics. Today's topic is maximizing the return on investment on your marketing spend, case studies. My name is Faris Al-Halou and I am the president and co-founder of Enor. A commonly asked questions here about the webinar and about the PowerPoint, both will be available on demand of our website, www.e-nor.com. So as far as the agenda for today, we'll have a quick introduction and then a couple of slides on what do businesses need, and we'll jump right into two case studies, one on business to consumer, an e-commerce type website, and the other case study is on a B2B, business to business, a lead generation type website, and then we'll have some time for a Q&A. And as far as the company background, here's a slide that our marketing folks would like us to spend a minute on. I'll keep it short, but basically we're out of Santa Clara, California, here in the Valley. We were established in 2002. We're a Google Analytics authorized consultant company. We're also an AdWords qualified company. We do a lot of work, obviously, with Google, also with Yahoo and MSN, and we're active in the web analytics space and in usability and website conversion. How to really improve the user experience on a website, and how to get a better conversion. How do we turn your visitors into leads and into customers? So what do businesses need? When people come to us, what is it that people ask for? People want to improve their return on investment. And what we found once we speak with clients, whether it's a business owner for a mid-sized company or a VP of marketing or a team of executives, they might not come and ask us about specifics when it comes to search engine marketing or web analytics, but they're interested in getting an optimal return on investment. Their goals could be branding type goals, generating awareness, or it could be more of a lead generation type, or it could be e-commerce, and companies want to improve their average sales order, or they just want to improve sales in general. And we found through our continuous improvement process that those goals are achievable as far as if you follow a cycle, if you follow a process where you understand, you have your clear goals, and you translate your business goals into website goals, and you pay attention to where you're spending money on marketing, and then you have the right analytics infrastructure, you implement your analytics program, and you start looking at the data, not just any data. Data is in abundance, but you look at key metrics, and of these key metrics, you start looking at gaps that you want to fix. You look at things that are working very well that you want to do more of, and you start taking actionable. You start getting insight and taking actions of the data that you have. So it's an ongoing process, but we believe, and we've seen a lot of success with this process, and this is really a good segue for these case studies that we have to share with you what we've done with some of our clients. This first case study is, as I said, is a B2C, a business-to-consumer e-commerce website. The main issue when we were brought in, wasn't really generating traffic. It was the average. It was a very high cost per transaction. So getting traffic wasn't an issue. Getting sales was not an issue, but it was costing a whole lot more than made sense for this client to generate to get a customer to generate a transaction. So our approach was, and I'll show you some graphs on that, instead of just looking at the overall averages, was to segment the marketing channels, look at the data, and look at where the traffic is coming from, look at all the traffic sources, and then measure the cost per transaction per traffic source. And then we could begin, only then actually we could begin our optimization program. And we found, once we started to segment these traffic sources, we found the underperforming campaign was very, very visible, and then improvements were planned and implemented, and within a couple of months, some significant improvements were achieved. The outcome, the results, a five-fold improvement in cost per transaction. The customer was paying about just a little bit over $250, and after the improvements were in place, the cost per transaction came down to $50, just below $50. That's quite significant. And you'll see in these graphs here, in this first graph, this is what we started off with. This is what the customer gave us. They said, on average here, looking at all the data, all the traffic sources sort of lumped together, we're paying $80 per transaction in August, 80 plus. We were looking at maybe close to $100 in October, and obviously after the improvements kicked in, on the average we were in about $30 per transaction. But that really is not very telling. I mean, it's a good graph. It gives us an idea, but once I show you the next graph, you'll see it in your own eyes, and you see the problem. We took the same data set that was shown in the previous graph, and we separated these market traffic sources, and you'll see on the left hand side here that almost and then the color code here, just so you know, the yellow is the traffic coming from the Google Content Network, and the black is from the Google Search Network, and then Yahoo, MSN, and Shopping. So you'll see there on the left hand side, you'll see that for the Google Content campaign, or as a traffic source, the customer was paying over $250 per transaction. So when you lump everything together, if you go back to the previous graph, you'll see an overall average, but you really don't know who the worst offender is. Once you start segmenting the traffic and you understand, which campaign is costing you more and which campaign is costing you less, you can do something about it. So you'll see over the next few months what was done to the Google Content traffic, and really it doesn't tell us. We're not saying that the Google Content Network is bad quality in general, but for this setup, for this situation, things were not set up properly for the customer. But after the improvements were made, better targeting, finding websites that it made sense for the client to be on, removing sites from the content network that were totally irrelevant, doing some on-page, on-site techniques, creating some custom landing pages, that resulted into a significant, and I mean significant, cost savings for the client, and those were sustained for beyond December.